These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up. 6-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check 26.
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone's...
Robert Woods, the 20, touchdown LA! Robert Woods, 79 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Left side complete to Lockett. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down.
Check it back, check it back.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
From the 31, Goff. Higbee secures it over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching up another 15 against your squad.
Here's Goff. And he slings one that's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But it's going to be second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
And maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Goff now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Goff. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Goff. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 yards there and a 1st down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Goff. He's got it. It's Higbee. Touchdown Rams. Tyler Higbee. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house. 14, run it.
To throw again, Wilson. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 29-yard line.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Right there. Come on.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he's got Lockett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
380. 58, come on. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the gun, here's Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time, and it's 3rd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. The 4-time All-Pro, Johnny Hecker, is on to punt for L.A. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive. The Seahawks got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Booker T. Mike 54. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. Space to maneuver at the 40. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So let's see, that was 3rd and 2. They hit the short pass, having the first down. He said, well, let's get a little more than the first down, all the way into the end zone.
And I know this is the NFL, and 3rd and 2 isn't necessarily a rundown. I think most of the time you play it as a passing down. But you can disguise it a little bit, right? You can show heavy run formation, make it look that way, and still throw the football effectively. As we just saw there. And he's still running, isn't he?
He stopped now, and he got 6 points for it. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
What you got? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Here we go. Hey,
Goff. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for L.A. 51 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On first down, it's Gurley. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, and the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Now Gurley, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 39-yard line.
Cut! My 20!
To throw is gone. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And he returns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
All go special. All go special.
After the interception, here's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Now Wilson on first down. He's going to go up top for the end zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Gurley again here on first down. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A final shot before break here. Gone. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson going to throw again. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh. A killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, They'll be marching off yardage against them.
380. Check. Watch 54. And we're pretty quiet, G. We're pretty quiet.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Flag 90. Mike spot forward. Hey, me and you all day.
Now it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he's going to go down again. Samson Abukum. He's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll try the air now with Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23.
Los Angeles.
Tonight, 180. 54.
On first down, it's gone. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Out of the gun, Smith. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. They're going to try and run. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, they run with Gurley. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Goff now looks to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Seahawks take over 3rd and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
At the 20-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check right, check right.
Throwing now is Gino. He's going to wind up and air it out. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And a good run as he manages 7 yards now to the 17. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Gino now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They run. It's Gurley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
180. 54. Let's go.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
It's now 4th down.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Zerline's kick is up and through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now Gino on first down. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Clay Matthews adding another sack to his impressive NFL resume.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Throwing on second down, Smith. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
A carry now for McKissick. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Smith now to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 10, Smith again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. 3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Let's put that team on the bus. 54. Mike, 54. Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day.
They snap it to Smith. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Samson Abukum. And this defense will take over right at midfield.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Let's go, baby. Watch the safety creep. Check, 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 check.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner, coming off a third straight All-Pro season. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 42, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
At their own 42-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. He's got Higbee complete right side and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Throwing now, Goff. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and that'll bring up second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Cut. Slam. Go.
Second down, it's Henderson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
A gain of 13 yards.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Los Angeles, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again.